I'm not sure where this video is going, but I know where I'm starting. So hang in there. But grief, such a heavy thing. It's such a complicated thing. I don't think grief has changed me for the worse. I think it's actually changed me for the better. Dealing with loss has opened me up to a whole new world of appreciation for my life and the lives of others and the people that are still here and still around me to this day. You don't know what you got till it's gone. I love tea, guys. That's my lip gloss. That's my lip gloss stain. And yeah, I'm a tea lover. So comment down below if you're a tea lover. I let go of a lot of grudges, anger, because I don't like to say that life is short, but life is life. Where do I even start? My experience is mine with grief. Everyone has their own. The last thing I want to do to whoever is watching this is trigger you. So, if grief right now is a trigger for you, please click off of this video. I really, I really appreciate you for trying, but you got to put your mental health first. So I love you for trying, but please click off if this is a trigger for you. Constant state of sadness. And it's been constant losses, you know? This is really the first time things have chilled down. Let me not jinx it, knock on wood. This is the first time my life has really calmed down. It's chill. Not to say that I'm not still grieving those losses, but I think I'm getting better every day. I would definitely say it was a lot being by myself and going through what I went through. It actually altered my state of mind. I mean, I've done a whole 360. I don't even remember myself before grief. That's how much it altered my state of mind. If you know, you know. Like, there's no words for how bad it altered my state of mind. Um, Everything just did a 360. It's difficult to find the words because I was just a whole new person. Um, And I'm not sure if that's a bad thing that I can't really recognize myself before grief, but I don't identify with it, you know? That's not my identity. It's just, you know, your mind, your brains are really affected. There's a lot of studies out there actually that show that grief can impact your mind, you know, the different parts of your brain and things of that nature. Yeah, and it did. It impacted mine heavily. But what I can say is that grief pushed me to these three things. Are you ready? Butterflies. I'm so serious. It pushed me to butterflies, sunsets, and coloring. Those are the only three things, okay? I actually, at the time where grieving was really impacting my life, I found comfort in butterflies. They were always around me. Really spiritual, you know, you could say that that's the person you lost around you, which I did believe. I loved looking at the sky. And of course, going through grief, you're never thinking about, oh, why is this happening? Well, yes, you are thinking of why it's like you're questioning, oh my gosh, why is this happening? But we're never like, oh, this happened for a reason, because that's insane to say. When you're confronted with death, you start to appreciate life. You do. Because you're realizing that, oh my gosh, wait, this is real. It was scary because then it's like, you know, am I next? You know? And, you know, of course, you don't want to be next, but this comparison is very extreme. But I was like, when an individual is diagnosed with cancer, all of a sudden they start to see life as beautiful because, oh, you have, so and so months to live. So now it's like, okay, well, let me live my life, because I don't know when I'm going to go. But let's just put all the stress and stuff behind me and let's focus on what's in front of me, my family, my friends. Let me spend as much time with them before I go. Let me do the things on my bucket list. It's when you're confronted with death, it's as if it warps your thinking on life, and now you're able to cherish life more. Without the grief I experienced for the last 3 years, I don't think I would be where I am today. I don't think I would have gotten in my dream grad school without grief because I actually wrote about it in my essay and I got in. I run a mental health page, SageTheMinds. Without that page, without the grief, I wouldn't have that page because I wouldn't feel the need to create a community where we all can talk about our mental health. I wouldn't have had the relationships I do have now. Um, I'm able to really put things into perspective. I'm more optimistic. I'm positive. And, I'm not walking around like, hi, hi, hi. No. But, if you know me, I'm a very optimistic person. And sometimes I worry that I won't make it to see the day that I'm extremely successful. And it's unfortunate. I don't think that anymore, but that's what I thought. That's grief had me thinking those thoughts. I guess I can't predict how long I'm going to be here for, but I'm here now. And that's all that matters. And I'm surrounded by the people who love me and the people I love. I really do love my life right now. I have my moments, but I love it. Like I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to see days. I'm happy to wake up in my bed, you know? Well, what has grief taught me? It's taught me to cherish life more, and I think that's the biggest lesson ever, and I think that's the greatest lesson I can get out of this. Dreams for me was they were very extreme during my grieving process. I had a lot of dreams. I had a lot of nightmares. It was just a lot going on. I barely slept and I felt like I didn't have a lot to say. I didn't have a lot to talk about with people from my end. Maybe if they're looking back, they can say, "Oh, you were still you," but I wasn't. I felt like I was just quieter. I was angry. I felt sick all the time. When I did make it to class, when I did make it to class, I would throw up right before class. My mom, I lived in a different state, and so my mom would call me and she would help me get up for the day. And she was like, just just make it there. Just drive there. Anything that happens after that, it's whatever, but just try to make it there. And eventually I started making it to class, and thank God I had understanding professors. I spoke to them and what I was going through at the time, and thank God, because let me tell you something, I graduated with magna cum laude, a part of an honor society in undergrad. Okay, so I did it. I got through it. Mind you, I was having the worst time of my life my senior year and junior year. So, but I did it though, because people don't understand how hard it was to get that degree and the mental toll I was in. So I was very happy. I'm more sensitive to the world. I'm extremely sensitive. I was sensitive before. I am a highly sensitive person now. I can't watch certain movies. I don't like talking about certain things. I have been in a very vulnerable state now. I'm actually currently in a very vulnerable state right now. I like to do softer things. I like to talk about softer things. And that's not to say that I'm cut off from the world. I am very aware of what's going on in the world and in tune with, the events of the world. But I like to filter certain things because at the end of the day, my mental health comes first. Do people call me a crybaby? Yeah, I am. I cry about everything. Like, does anybody else feel that way? Like, if you went through grief, do you feel more sensitive to things around you now? Just because I feel like grief has changed me for the better, someone else might not feel that way, but that is okay because that's your experience, okay? And we're all at certain points, we're all at different points, and grief is not linear. I don't think grief is so cut and dry. I think it's very, I would consider it a gray area. You're all over the place. You are. It's not, oh, I'm in this stage, this stage, this. No, because you'll be at this stage, go back to this stage, go back to this stage, then you'll go straight up to that stage. It's a lot, you know? Also, I love flowers. My favorite flowers are dahlias. Like, it just has heightened my sensitivity or my awareness. I love flowers. I was never a flower girl before. I'm a flower girl now, you know? But never, if you told me I had this outlook now, a couple years ago when I was going through that, I'd be like, girl, shut up. You know, like, you sound crazy. But I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm where I am today. Losing someone is genuinely the worst thing ever. But I'm not going to be that person that says it never goes away because it doesn't. It just gets easier to manage. That's all. And I hope if you're watching this, you are able to relate with me. And if you're new here, my name is Sage. Um, YouTube Sage the Minds. I run a mental health page. It's thriving. I'm about to hit 2,000. I call my followers minders. I don't like calling people followers. That's weird. I call them minders. So I'm almost at 2,000 minders. And if you just like anything mental health, you want to learn some healing tips, um, anxiety, dealing with anxiety, things of that nature, then head over there, Sage the Minds on Instagram. I do have a TikTok as well, that's Sage the Minds. I love doing this video, even though it was a little difficult for me because this is my first time talking about grief to a camera, my grief. And, but, you know, I think a lot of us pride ourselves on being mysterious and stuff, which is great, but I think there's beauty in vulnerability as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Um, Comment down below if you feel comfortable your experience with grief, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye. Love you guys so much.